Moving towards our next session, which is on health and nutrition benefits of soya, which will be taken by Dr. Kavitha Reddy. To introduce her, Dr. Kavitha Reddy is an owner of Shreya Nutrition. She did her master's in food and nutrition from Appu, Hyderabad, and her PhD from CFTRI in food science. She worked as a visiting scientist for 3 years at Food Science Department, Wengen Agricultural University, Netherlands. And she then moved to Purdue University, Indiana, USA to work for 4 years at Food Science Department. She then relocated to India and has worked as a nutrition consultant to USSEC. She conducted nutrition-based workshops for doctors, dietitians. She authored a cookbook, the Indian Soya Cookbook, published by Rupa and Company. She writes nutrition articles and conducts workshops for companies as and when required. Presently, she is based in Hyderabad, and she also works as a guest faculty taking nutrition and food science courses at International Institute of Hotel Management. With this, I request Dr. Kavitha Reddy to take this forward.
Thank you very much for the introduction. I think I'll stand to a side because if I stand here, I don't think you can see me. See, one disadvantage of not eating protein in sufficient quantity when you are young. Okay. I'm going to talk about, don't worry, there are, I think you can't see the number of slides here. I have a lot of slides, but I'll keep it to the minimum, and I know it is, shall I switch this off? Okay. I know it's almost lunchtime, so you're all hungry, but I think you will also focus on your food much more after my presentation, hopefully. So let's go. Now, I'm going to talk about soy protein and usually when we talk about soy, we talk about protein. When you look at business people, they mostly look at oil because that's why in India we grow soy because it's an oil seed. And why? I know there are a lot of nutrition students and food tech students here. For them, the motivation of knowing about nutrition is different. For business people, the motivation should be different. I've been working on soy for the past 20 years from the time we came back from US. I worked with many people. I worked with Ravi, I worked with Nishit, I'm taking their names in first person because I know them from a long time, and many other people. What I have noticed is those who do well in this business are the ones who know the background a little bit. For some reason or the other, there are some negative things said about soy. It's not because there is no negative thing about other foods. But the problem with this is it's a new entrant into our cuisine, and a lot of focus has been there on soy. There are a lot of people working on soy. So many papers are coming out. So if there are 100 papers which say good things about soy, there will be 1 or 2 bad things which come out. So the same thing comes from wheat and for milk and all, but the focus is more on soy. So don't take anything at face value. Look at who is publishing what. Like one of the earlier speakers said, Google doctors, WhatsApp doctors. So just look at who is talking about. And one more thing I want to tell you all is that it's like even one sentence here which I'm talking about, nothing is my own story. Everything is from published, peer-reviewed journals. So you can take it for, you can trust me on that. And another thing is the amount of material which is out published on soy is for, now I'll be revealing my age, but I have to. I did my PhD, my master's in 87, 88. Okay, I'm that old. So 87, 88 is long back. And my master's thesis was effect of soy on serum cholesterol levels in rats. This was in 88, 89. I published 2 papers out of it. Even now, you will find papers on the same thing and saying the same thing. So the amount of work coming out is a lot. So there will be few negative ones. Negative is usually like may not help, may affect something, but it never says definitely affects, because there are not so many papers which will say that. And unfortunately, I can't speak so well in Hindi, so I'm going to stick to English. Now, my English is very simple, so I don't think anybody will have any problem. What's so important about soy protein? Usually I'm the one who asks, raise your hands, how many non-vegetarians do you eat in every meal? But today that question has already been asked. So if you are, for most purposes, all Indians are vegetarians. Now, if you look at protein, any protein which comes from plants will be missing 1 or 2 essential amino acids. Essential amino acids are those amino acids which we cannot make in our body. If something is missing, if we can make it in our body, it's called non-essential amino acid. Now, these essential amino acids, all of them are there only in proteins which come out from animals. Now, one of the exceptions is plant protein, soy. There are few others like quinoa and all. So soy is also one of those sources which give you all the essential amino acids. So we don't have to worry about any amino acid missing. That is why it is called good quality protein. So soy has good quality protein. And another thing is, some of the foods which have good quality protein and come from plants, but we can't eat in large quantities, or they don't have lot of protein. Whereas soy has 40% protein, which is almost double of what we have in arhar dal or moong dal or any other dals. So the quantity is also good. Actually, it's very good, and the quality is also very good. That's why soy has taken such an important place where protein is concerned. So now let's go to you don't have to know all this. Anything you need, you can always email to me and I'll send you all the references. Now, soy, and like Dr. Joshi said, we are the capital for heart problems. It is not only because of our lifestyle, but it is also genetics. So genetics we can't do much about. How does soy help in heart issues? Okay. When it comes to heart health, one thing is, first thing we go when we have family history of heart problems is we go and check parameters like cholesterol, triglycerides, LDL cholesterol, or the bad cholesterol. So the most important is cholesterol and triglycerides, and there are several studies. Like I told you, I also worked in 88, 89. There are hundreds and hundreds of studies which say that soy protein reduces cholesterol levels. The mechanisms are various proposed by scientists, but for you all it's sufficient, I think, to know that soy protein helps in reducing or regulating cholesterol levels in blood. That itself is good enough for people who have family history of high cholesterol or high lipid profile in their blood. Now, if you incorporate soy in the diet regularly, maybe 3 times in a week, I'm not saying do it every day, but 3 meals, one dinner, one lunch, and another day dinner, it will help in regulating blood, cholesterol, and triglyceride levels. And it also provides at the same time good amount of protein and good amount of good quality protein. And any person who is diabetic has a higher risk of getting heart diseases. So it's very important for diabetic people also to incorporate soy regularly. Now let's go back. Next, We'll talk about, in this I haven't put much about diabetes because I thought the earlier speaker would talk a lot about diabetes. So it's okay, like I'll be talking about diabetes too. What happens in heart issues, same thing happens with diabetes also. Soy protein helps regulate blood glucose levels. So if a person has diabetes or is in the pre-diabetes condition, if they incorporate soy regularly into their diet, the blood glucose levels come down. So for them, actually, it is doubly advantageous because it's good for regulating blood glucose levels. At the same time, it also reduces cholesterol and triglycerides. So both ways, it is very, very beneficial for people who are diabetic. If you look at this slide, you can see compared to rice, wheat and other pulses, glycemic index and glycemic load of soy is lower. So everybody knows that's why it is good for people with diabetes. Now let's go back. I just want you all to remember what are isoflavones. Isoflavones, they are called phytochemicals or phytosterols. So with every gram of soy protein, you get about anywhere between 2 to 3 milligrams of isoflavones. These are phytochemicals, means plant chemicals. They don't have any nutritional benefits, but they have a lot of health benefits. And you can ask me, like, don't other foods have this? Yes, they have lot of herbs and spices, ginger, and all of them have phytochemicals, and they have isoflavones too. But the problem is how much garlic and ginger and all we eat. So how much can we get isoflavones from them? Whereas if you take soy, a reasonably good amount of isoflavones can be provided through diet. So if you have, say, 10 grams of soy protein, which is very, very easy to get, you will get about 20 milligrams of isoflavones. That is why soy is important, because along with the protein, you get a reasonably good amount of isoflavones. They have a similar structure to estrogen, but you have to remember that though they have the similar structure to estrogen, that's the female sex hormone, they don't have the activity of estrogen. They have a very, very, very mild activity, because that is the reason why a lot of people think that it is not good for men, that the male population will develop female type of characteristics. But it doesn't work like that. They have very, very, very mild estrogenic effect. So, and especially they think that fertility goes down for men. Chinese people eat around 50 to 100 grams of soy protein in the various forms, and you see their population, I mean, I don't have to explain. So it doesn't gel with that. But yes, there are 1 or 2 studies which came out like that, and there are no meta-analysis, no randomized studies, nothing. So, but you know, no, when there is a negative thing, we all stick to that. When there is something positive, okay, it's positive, fine. But when it is negative, it gets a lot of attention. So if anybody is interested in that, please contact me and I will send you the studies. Okay, and I also would like to tell you all, if you are interested in science, there is a very good website called Healthline. Literally, they get all experts to write articles on that. If you want, please go there. For references, even I go there. It's called Healthline. Any subject, they have very, very, very good authors. Okay, now we are done with heart health, we are done with diabetes. I'm not going to details. If anybody is interested, I'll be around till evening. You can talk to me. Anti-carcinogenic. Now, soy is not helpful in all types of cancers. It's helpful in cancers which have something to do with hormones. For example, prostate cancer in men and breast cancer in women. There are again hundreds of studies, clinical studies as well as epidemiological studies, where you have huge number of women and men participating, they have found that it reduces the risk of breast cancer as well as prostate cancer. And in breast cancer, it also helps in cutting down on the recurrence. Some women who suffer with that, they have the risk of getting it back. That recurrence also was cut down in many studies, they've noticed that. And also another thing is, the earlier we start eating soy, the more the results are. So as young people, if we start eating soy regularly, that would be a even better option. Now, immunity. For the past 2 years, I don't think any of us read more than 100 articles about immunity. How does soy help in immunity? These are all the components of soy which will help in immunity. First thing is, anything which attacks us, we release antibodies. What are antibodies? Nothing but protein. So unless you have good amount of raw material in the form of all essential amino acids, our body won't be able to make antibodies in sufficient amount. So very, very important. So to meet the raw material requirement, we need to eat good amount of protein, and one of them can be soy. Then glycine. Actually, it's one of the amino acids which actually helped in, we heard, like a lot of people having lung problems during COVID. Glycine is the one which brings down that affecting of lungs, was brought down by glycine, and the scientific name of soy is glycine max. Isoflavones, I already told what are isoflavones. They have a lot of antioxidant activity. So they clean up the immune cells of all the free radicals, and they help in immune system working very, very efficiently. So dietary fiber, I'll be talking about dietary fiber later. So all of them have basically good effect on immunity. Now anemia. When somebody has less of hemoglobin, the first thing, just hold on, I'm going to get a better slide for you. I'm not saying thank you yet, because I sort of expected other speakers to cover something, so I put all these slides later. Now hemoglobin is the one which goes down when we have anemia. Now, hemoglobin, a lot of doctors immediately give you iron capsules, and then they also tell you eat good food. But they don't, any doctors don't jump on me. Good food, they don't specify it is good amount of protein, good quality of protein. So hemoglobin, heme is iron, globin is protein. So we have to take both. And Dr. Sharma explained or mentioned that we did a study in Avinashalingam where they took a huge number of children and fed soy, and there were, they could make out that hemoglobin levels go up. If you take iron capsules, it's not sufficient. You have to take both iron plus protein. That's where soy can help in alleviating anemia. Calcium. How many people are vegans over here? Any vegans? No. But veganism is going up in India a lot, and I run a clinic also. So when they come and I say, what are you doing about calcium? They say, we are eating spinach. Spinach is very, very good source of calcium, but you have to remember it has phytates, it has fiber in it, so it's not going to allow you to absorb all the calcium. But soy is one product which, how much ever calcium is absorbed from milk and milk products, same way it is absorbed in soy. So it's very important, if there are any vegans whom you know, they should make sure that they are getting enough calcium. Now, lactose intolerance. Lactose is the sugar present in milk and milk products. A lot of people cannot tolerate lactose, and a lot of people don't even know that they are lactose intolerant. Some bloating, something they attribute it to something else. But this soy milk and soy products like tofu they don't have any lactose because they come from plant, and they have other carbohydrates but not lactose. So for people who are suffering with lactose intolerance, they can switch over to soy and soy products. Earlier speaker said, why don't we call soy tofu as paneer? Don't call it that, because immediately they will start comparing it with paneer. So you explain, you can cook it like paneer, but it is not paneer. Then the acceptance is much more compared to, and if I cook paneer also, they think I'm cooking tofu. I'm like, no, 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 this is paneer. So not many people can make out, but Singh Saab is there. They all know which is paneer, which is this. As a South Indian, I couldn't make out which is tofu, which is paneer. So you can easily cheat the South Indians. I think so. Now, I've already explained to you about immune systems, and this is like an antioxidants. Every cell has free radicals. A lot of people think, I don't smoke, I don't live in a polluted area, so I don't have any free radicals in my body. Nothing like that. If I don't smoke, and I think I'm in a fairly okay area, but even when I'm talking or moving my hands, my cells are working and the cells are producing free radicals. Everybody, even if you live in Himalayas, you still produce free radicals because we are working, our cells are working. If this has to be cleaned, we have to take antioxidants. There are some antioxidants like glutathione our own body produces, but that is not sufficient, so you have to get it from food. And soy has isoflavones which have antioxidant value. And fiber. Let's say 60 kgs is my weight, okay? Now, how much do you think the bacterial load in my large intestine will be, the weight? 20 grams A, 1 kg B, 3 kg C. A, please lift up your arm. 20 grams. 1 kg, 2. Okay, 3 kgs, 1. And the rest think there is no bacterial load. You're all clean, no microbes in your tummies. Okay. Okay. If I am 60 kgs, anywhere between 3 to 5 kgs of my weight is nothing but trillions and trillions of microorganisms living in my large intestine. And they are responsible for 70% of our immune system. So our large intestine with all those good pets are the immune system for us, 70%. Now, what is the food for them? Dietary fiber. If you don't take it, and dietary fiber comes only from plant products, soy is a good source of dietary fiber, because in my clinic, a lot of people come and you're not having any fiber. No, I'm having. Where is the fiber in your diet? They tell me, lot of chicken, mutton fiber. That is not fiber, that is protein which is fibrous. Dietary fiber comes only from plants. So what we don't digest goes into our large intestine and is used up by the microorganisms. If you don't provide sufficient amount of dietary fiber, the bad bacteria which cause disease, the number goes up. If you give enough good food, the good bacteria is in more amounts. So very, very important to have, because 70% of our immune system comes from there. Now, from our gut bacteria, and also it's been seen that soy products will actually help in the good microbes to go up in number, like bifidobacteria and lactobacilli. Now, somebody is taking pictures. If you want my thing, just email to me and I will send you the thing. Nothing is my own thing in this, so I will send it to you. Okay. Now, women's health, little bit. I'll take 2 more minutes, I think, and then I will finish. Women's health, women between 45 to 55 go through menopause, and that is when estrogen levels come down. So our bones become weaker, and this is, you can see the normal healthy bone, and then as the age goes up, isoflavones help to keep our bones little bit denser, like they are more stronger. How many of you all are below 30 years? 30 years, very good. 30 years is the magic line. Only till then you can deposit calcium into your bones. If you are lucky, up to 35. Looking at me, I think mine stopped at 25 only. So, and I even though I'm a nutrition student, I'm not very good. Doctors don't make good patients, no? Like that, I am also like that. So, after 35, not that you shouldn't take calcium, it's still important. What is there has to be maintained. So, but you can't really make it more dense. You can't make them stronger. And soy helps in making our bones stronger. And when it comes to cognitive function, our brain health is better when we eat lot of soy. There are many studies on that. And the most important is, if you don't want to get wrinkles and all that, soy also helps for that. It helps in making more collagen, which makes our skin elastic, and also hyaluronic acid. So if you, because of antioxidant effect, as well as stimulating collagen and hyaluronic acid production. So it is good for our anti-aging thing. Because these days I see in advertisements, no, this cream has hyaluronic acid, and I'm always thinking, how many people would know what exactly hyaluronic acid is? And a lot of women, not all, see, even if we take medicine, it doesn't affect everybody the same way. Hot flashes, which are very distressing symptom during menopause, 60% women feel better. Hot flashes come down, irritability comes down. So if you are one among the 60%, or your sister's wife or mothers are in that thing, it is good, isn't it? Without medicine, you have a food which has lot of protein, good quality protein, so many health benefits, and at the same time, it brings down menopausal distress symptoms. And one more, I think our earlier speaker said, which oil, there is a question. There is no one good oil. There is nothing. Any nutritionist will tell you that each oil has its pluses, not minuses. Minuses is in our hand. If we eat more, it is a minus. So if we take a combination of oils, you get different pluses. So if you are using 4 kgs of oil in a month in your household, 1 kg can be soybean oil, 1 kg can be groundnut oil, 1 kg mustard oil, and 1 kg something else. Try to eat a variety of oil so that we get plus points from all of them. That's it. Don't stick to one oil, because you don't get, one has monounsaturated fatty acids more, one has polyunsaturated fatty acids which are good for our health, omega-3 fatty acids in another. So they are all good. But just like we tell children, if you like potato, don't eat potato all the time. Same thing with oils. Take a combination of oils, that would be a good thing. And that's all I would like to tell you all today. If you have any questions, I'll be more than be happy to answer you if I know the question, if I answer. If I don't know, I'll find it out for you. So thank you very much.
Any questions? We can take 1 or 2 questions. You want to ask?
Thyroid and soy. Too many myths. Please clear.
Yeah. The thyroid thing is, long back in, I think in the state of Montana, lot of people were giving soy formula for the babies. And they did not add iodine. See, if you take any formula for babies, newborn, you see they add everything. Whereas for those formula, they didn't add. And those kids developed thyroid issues. And after that, they added iodine to it, and everything was fine. But that stayed in the minds. And there are a few animal studies in which also they have found such things. But if you go and see now, There is no such thing unless if somebody already has goiter. So anyway, they will be giving iodine capsules and all to get it down. But there are several foods. Like when you say eat millets, do you ever think about thyroid? No. And millets have more goitrogens compared to soy. Like I said, there are lobbies, and there is so much of material around floating. So that's why it is. If anybody is interested, please email to me. Okay. Let me do some publicity also. My thing is called Sreya, Sreya, Sreya Nutrition at gmail.com is my email ID. I have an Instagram handle which is Sreya_nutrition where I post nutrition tips all the time. And I was so pleasantly surprised that Mr. Sunil Meena, right? He came and told me, ma'am, I follow your YouTube. I was like, I was making YouTube only for myself, but because I hold my phone like this and I talk and I post it. He thought I was doing some editing. Nothing. I just keep it there. One fine day, somebody in my clinic asked me one strange question. No, raw eggs are better than cooked eggs. And I'm like, where do you get such things? It is not digestible. You have to cook it. But no, my gym trainer told me. So I'm eating 6 raw egg whites. So immediately I take a video of myself on this thing and load it on YouTube. But he paid me compliment. It looks professional. So if you are interested, please, I have Sreya Nutrition YouTube also. You can, and if you have questions, you can email to me. I'll be more than happy to answer them for you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And let me tell you that you don't need any editing, ma'am. That's completely original what you are mentioning. Because the kind of information you have given in terms of what are health benefits of soy, I think I felt that I am in a classroom of my best teachers and attending that class. So that kind of information you have given, ma'am, that's a compliment. Seriously, trust me. I was noting down each and everything, and I was like, "Acha, abhi next kya? Abhi next kya batane wale?" So that is a thing which I really liked. And now I would request Dr. Ratan and Shri Nilesh to come on the dais and felicitate Dr. Kavitha. Thank you so much, Dr. Kavitha. It was really, really, really very helpful. Thank you.
We worked together for 10 years. More than 10 years. Yeah, sure.
I am a teacher. That's
why I
talk like that.